Hi everyone, welcome to this week's crypto market review. Testing something new out this week, a bit of a new software that I'll probably start using on here. We'll get some different avatars going every week. Adds a bit of fun to these crypto market reviews. This week we're going to be taking a look at the higher time frame side of things, updating on my post from last week. Obviously, if you missed my video from last week on the rotation I'm expecting between metals to Bitcoin and crypto, make sure you go and check that video out. That's the most recent video. I'll put it on the screen right now. So I won't really touch on that rotation so much this week, but more talking about Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins, and potentially what is in store for Q1. So yeah, let's get into the video. Just wanted to remind you that this video is for informational purposes only and reflects my personal views, is not financial advice, and always consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. So we're going to quickly start off on the stablecoin dominance chart. I actually can't remember if I discussed this in my video last week. This is pretty interesting though. When we make a basket out of all the stablecoins, or at least the most important ones, the USDT chart, USDC, and also the DAI dominance, we get a nice basket. And right now, what you can see plotted below is the total market cap. You can essentially see that every time stablecoin dominance has moved into this 8.6% region, we can see how the total has increased in three separate occasions. Now we've seen a 1 trillion plus increase from the total market cap. So with that in mind, with that already happening twice there and then a third time in April through to the August high, if we did see a deviation below 8.6%, then you can almost expect that the total market cap is going to increase a similar amount, I think back to probably 4 trillion at least, and maybe even fresh highs in Q1. If we do get this strong deviation above this 8.6% region, as I have on the chart here, we would be so back. That would be the case, and a move towards 6% would be very, very likely. So this is kind of the main trigger I'm looking at right now in terms of like whether the market is going to go, up only essentially. That this will really depend on the stablecoin dominance and whether the total market cap sees that trillion increase. Moving on to the Bitcoin gold chart, I will touch on this, but obviously spoke more on this last year. If we're comparing it to prior cycles, the Bitcoin against gold bear market low is in. Historically, it's sort of bottomed anywhere from 360 all the way through to around 410 days. Our current top to bottom is looking at around 385 days, which is great. And obviously we can already see this bounce coming in from the Bitcoin gold pair. If this is the case, then we should be bottoming sometime within December all the way through till the new year. So really interesting chart here, and whether we go to make new highs in Q1 on the Bitcoin gold chart will really depend whether we see this stablecoin dominance break down under 8.6%. So that's all I really have to comment on in terms of the higher time frame. The last thing probably would be just that we are pulling back and we're bouncing off the breakdown we got from that one on the Fibonacci time-based tool. With that move to fresh all-time high, it is very possible, depending on this sort of stablecoin dominance breakdown, and if we do get that breakdown, we can most definitely see a move to fresh all-time high in Q1 for Bitcoin. But this is the main thing, like we are on support here on the stablecoin dominance, and if we don't break down and if we do bounce here, obviously this is going to be pretty catastrophic for crypto. We can see the past two occasions where we've seen a bounce from the stablecoin dominance. Obviously the total market cap suffered tremendously, so we could see a similar thing as the stablecoin dominance. If it was to bounce towards 11, even 10%, that would be pretty poor for crypto. So now moving on to sort of intraday side of things, I currently am short on Ethereum. Took this trade in the group, the Wealth Group Discord. Already taken TP1 on this move down. Nice trade and nice catch so far today. The group is actually running at a discount until tomorrow, so make sure you check out the link at the top description if you'd like to get involved in my trades and daily streams and all that. I'm there every day, and discount is running until tomorrow. So couple reasons why I took the short was basically because of this structure imbalance between BTC and ETH. Often you'll find if ETH starts to make higher highs, meanwhile BTC is making lower highs, you'll find that it's a good sort of intraday top, not necessarily like a local top as per se, but a intraday top often you'll find is this is a very good sign. So keep an eye on this this sort of structure in the future. BTC 3-day breakout is happening. Discuss this a little bit. Into big resistance here, 93k, big level. You know, this level goes all the way back to this this Q4 of last year, and obviously we start to flip there again, just as we done here. You know, pretty low volumes we can see through this area. We'll probably break towards 102 to 108k if this 93k is officially broken on BTC. So keep an eye out for that. Obviously, we are currently SFPing that sort of daily December high, these equal highs from December, and we are in a range, right? There's no doubt about that. Until we get a confirmed breakout and probably above the Monday high, and we are in range on Bitcoin, so assume price will continue to range until proven otherwise. That being, if Bitcoin did deviate here, right, and we got a breakdown below a 93k, expect to move probably back down to like 90s, and then even as low as sort of 86k over Q1. It's really going to depend, right, how we react into this level on the stablecoin dominance, and that will decipher whether Bitcoin goes on to go to 102k with a breakdown from stablecoin dominance, or if Bitcoin decides to break below here, then, you know, stablecoin dominance is going to bounce to that 10-11% that I was discussing earlier. The Monday high is really important right now for BTC. Over the past few weeks, the Monday high has marked that sort of local top of the week. We sort of get a pump into the Monday and sell off, and later, you know, it still rejects again here, sort of pump into the Monday and then sell off, right? Pump into the Monday and then sell off, and then we can see back end of last week when we started to flip that Monday high, we did start to trend. So this week, if BTC does go on to break Monday high and sort of flip above here, expect this to be a good breakout, probably towards 100 to 102k over January and over the start of the earlier parts of Q1. If we don't get a break of this Monday high, then you know, expect a move back down under this range and probably to backfill this weekend gap that we have. Friday close back towards 90k, a deviation back below a 93k, then expect a move towards 90k. Like I said, I currently am short on ETH, but that's just more of an intraday position. In terms of a position on BTC right now, there's two trades I'm looking at: a break below 93k or a move above the Monday high, and I would potentially chase along above here with some nice signs of a squeeze on the order flow side of things. Overall, BTC value wise, it's not looking great. This November VWAP kind of coincides with what I was just discussing. If we can accept above this November VWAP above sort of 95k, expect BTC to trade into this November value area high towards 102k. You know, obviously we can see this developing monthly value area is acting as support right now. So any acceptance back inside there, you know, we essentially resume that range that we've been in, and like I said, a move back down towards like 90k would be more than possible for Bitcoin. You know, the market does look good. We're getting that breakout, we're getting that higher time frame move, potentially breaking out above range high here, but until we get that official breakout above this November VWAP and above the range high, it's important to not get too aggressive on the long side of things. You know, market drops do happen, and often, you know, being patient in these scenarios, even though price feels like it's constantly going away from you, there are intraday bottoms that often lead to moves up. I've discussed how to take these in the Discord, these continuation setups using the Z score and developing values. Really simple setups to catch these continuations. But yeah, November VWAP flip is essentially needed, and we basically take out a majority of this move that was done back in November. Okay, moving on to ETH, because I have been getting some comments lately saying to do more ETH analysis. I kind of skim over ETH. ETH doesn't look bad. In terms of an intraday top, that was pretty nice. We had some pretty aggressive flow into the high, and obviously we had that structure that I was just discussing on BTC against ETH. So it doesn't look bad though. When we look at the value side of things, we are trading above the 2024 VWAP and also now the 2025 VWAP. If this trend does continue, and if we do start to flip this 3300 area, I'm expecting a move back towards 3600 and maybe even 4k on ETH. If it really gets a strong breakout and Tom leaves, bags will be saved. Move to 4k would only come if we get a flip of 3500. Until then, you know, we are in range, just like BTC. We are in this range here between sort of 3,400 and 2,800, and until we do get a strong breakout from Ethereum, then expect the range to continue. For a much higher time frame breakout for ETH, we would want to see a move above 4K. That's a given. A move above 4K for a big higher time frame breakout from ETH, and obviously we're quite a way away from that just yet. In terms of a long, I think looking for a sweep back towards this prior monthly value area high around 3175 looks great for ETH to be a buyer. If we did sweep back down into 3175, that would be great. Great place to get long ETH. Into the sort of developing weekly VWAP, into the developing monthly and the prior monthly value area high, and also into the two higher time frame yearly VWAPs, the 2024 VWAP and the 2025 VWAP. Any pullback into that region looks like a fantastic long for ETH. Now onto some altcoins I've got my eye on. The thing is with alts at the moment, if the market goes on to run, you kind of want to be looking at the shiny new coins in terms of what you want to be buying. You'll often find the shiny new coins trade the best. Obviously there'll be better returns elsewhere. We've always got altcoins doing 50-60% in a day, like that happens. But in terms of looking for strong trends in coins that are going to sustain, look at the likes of like XPL, look at Mon, Fartcoin, for example, like fairly new or newer coins which have a lot of interest surrounding them. These are good coins to be trading. For XPL, I think a long back towards 0.7178 looks like a good position to take. Back down towards this prior monthly value area high, and down here into this developing weekly val. I think we would get this region if ETH went back to test sort of 3100s, mid 3100s. I think you'd get that move on XPL. But yeah, XPL, I wouldn't be surprised to see a move towards 0.4 over the next quarter or so. The same with Mon or Monad. Needs to flip 3-2, but overall I'm looking at getting long on Monad, especially if it starts to flip this 0.03 area. If Monad starts to flip here, looking for a long towards 0.38 and even as high as 0.042. So noughts today. Fartcoin again, another coin, really strong. Bit of a reversal zone here, not somewhere I would be willing to take a position on it. A pullback back down towards 0.4, even as low as 0.37 looks like a good place to be a buyer on Fartcoin for a long. Trend is super strong right now, but it's hard to chase some positions up here. Last coin of the day, ZEC. I'm looking at a short into 534 and equally a long towards 460. ZEC 460 looks like a fantastic place to be a buyer if we do sweep down there. I've got some alerts set, as you can see. This looks like a good place to be a buyer. Okay, now onto the order flow side of things, just to wrap the video up. You know, we are trading into this 4-week composite on BTC. Big level from this 4-week composite from the sort of end of November through to the start of December. Accepting above this 4-week composite, then we would get a move towards 102k, but until then we have to essentially view this as the range high area. A strong deviation back down below 93k, then we should get a move into the low 90s, 91 to 90k. Again, this is the same sort of plan that I discussed for BTC earlier. In terms of ETH, I was short again, like I said, got some good flow on ETH into the New York Open, lots of longs aping, and we can see how we got a nice flush, so that trade is already played out. But yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this week's crypto market review. Managed to keep it around 15 minutes this week, which is great. Just to quickly go over my thoughts again, overall I think the market looks pretty good. You'd want to see a move above 95k to confirm the true breakout. If so, we're going to get a move to 101, 102. As I said in last week's video, a lot of signs telling us that, you know, we have been local bottoming recently, and we are going to continue to local bottom. A good move here, but keep an eye on this stablecoin dominance. This is going to be the key chart that you're going to want to keep watching over the next sort of few weeks and into the end of January. So if you guys did enjoy this video, please leave a like and subscribe. Check out the socials in the link below, and I will catch you guys on Twitch tomorrow for my Wednesday trading stream. You can find me there midday UTC. Catch you then. Bye bye.